this is where we talk about anything affecting the youth and how the youth affects these issues. I am Juliet Onra. So good to have you here on 360 Youth Dialogue, only on Third Eye Africa Television. Today, we're narrowing down on a topic that has concerned the youth majorly on politics. We're talking about national development, Nigerian youth's level of involvement in politics. Today, I have with me Stanley Ihuoma, who is a young politician. He's going to do a lot of talking on youth involvement in politics, and you are an aspiring councillor for the Amark local government, yes?
That's a Wuse word.
Wuse word.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go straight. Let's start straight with the previous election. Let me take some statistics here. About 76% of the new registered voters of 2023 were of age of 18 to 35. That was during the 2023 election, and that was for their continuous, what they call this, continuous voters registration. Thank you, CVR drive. And in 2025, ahead of 2027, a lot of young people are also preparing for that election, and we've had like 4.4 million Nigerians already, getting ready for the elections and, getting their voters card ready and all that. What's your assessment of the previous elections, including the 2023 and then previous elections? Was it youth inclusive, both to young people contesting and for, voters, young people voting?
Basically, I just feel we just woke up from our sleep. At some point, Nigerian youth felt like, okay, they weren't part of, it wasn't even necessary for them to be part of the political class, the political decision. But at some point when they knew that the decision or the policy built up by these politicians in one way or the other must, or by one way or the other, affect them, all of them just felt, okay, it's right time we fasten our belt and get. I guess that's what played out in 2023. Then the last election, a lot of youths were there because there was this guarantee for people feeling like, okay, their votes are going to count. They can actually make a decision. And there was basically not like so young, but a lot of young people participating, even contesting. So it was a bit friendly for them to actually relate. And I guess that's how it's going to be going forward.
All right. You made a statement that young people are just waking up right now.
Yeah.
Is this just for Nigerians, or we've had, a restful youth all along?
When hardship tells you the story, you now understand that at some point you have to wake up. When you've actually struggled, at some point, there was people when you just go out and just say, I have a problem, and the person gives you 100,000. Give you 50,000, you share your problem, and the person tells you, I'm also facing the same kind of problem. Then you now understand, okay, you're growing past a stage where you should actually work for yourself, or you try to get things done for your own self. And I guess that's what has told, that's the story that has told the youth themselves, the story. So they are playing it to themselves, oh God, really, reality has taken its place, and we need to actually come out and now try to take responsibility for our own actions. So all of them felt, this policy these guys are putting is affecting me one way or the other. So they are all out now to try and make that decision.
So right now you're saying that the hardship is really telling on the young people directly.
Really, yeah.
That's the only thing making us to wake up in Nigeria.
Yes, that's what's happening actually.
Other than knowing our civil rights.
The truth is that we all knew our civil rights.
Long before.
Yeah, we knew. If you pass through schools, they will tell you actually at a particular age, from 18, you should actually know that you're supposed to, by right, you're supposed to have a voter's card.
Okay, definitely.
And I'm still telling you now, even statistics will tell you for free that it's just about 40% that has the voter's card, even as we speak now. So that's to tell you that some are still sleeping, woken up.
Okay.
But before then, I guess the statistic that had the voter's card was not even up to 12.
That's 12% of the population.
Before then, yeah, of the youth. I'm talking of the youth population. So we've got to the point where 40, and I guess as it goes on, because a lot of youths are feeling like, okay, we can actually make decisions. Some other youths are actually occupying some positions. So I feel we will, one way or the other, partake. Because whether you like it or not, if you allow a zombie to get there, just expect that kind of policy. And the truth is that the policy is not just for him. It's not just for the older one, not for the younger one, for everybody. So one way or the other is going to affect you. And you keep telling the story. You gather your friends and you say this, that. You tell the story till you die.
That's true. But I want to point out something here. Looking at Africa at large, we're seeing more of older people. And how soon do you think Nigeria specifically is going to have a young president? You know that saying that the older ones are the wise ones. So how soon do you think Nigeria is going to adopt that, a young person being a president particularly?
There's a definition of young.
Mm.
If you say young, because some statistics, some people will say a 60-year-old person is still young, a 50-year-old person is still young. If that's the kind of young you're saying, I guess very soon Nigeria is going to have that. But if you're talking about someone of 40, 30, then we are still far from that. Reasons being that, okay, question is how many people within this range are actually actively involved in politics. Because you cannot just jump from nowhere and become the president of Nigeria. This is actually a country that has over 200 and something million persons. This is not actually managing a small cycle. Before I thought about who say word, I thought it was small. But when I went into politics, when I started taking a study walk around the world, I knew it's actually a big place. So this is me saying a word, and this is you're going to graduate to a chairman. Chairman is just going to be just one local government. You're going to still graduate from that to maybe a House of Rep that is taking about 3 other local governments. You're still going to graduate to a senator that might be like controlling over 5 or more local government. You're also going to graduate to a governor that might be seeing. So politics is not just waking up and saying you want. Even if you're working in a firm, if you need to actually be a managing director, they're actually going to play down your years of experience with different sectors. You must actually, if you get a young person over there to be given the president of Nigeria, do you expect, trust me, you expect hell. Someone that has not gone through this whole lane.
So what you're saying is, even though the youth are clamoring for a space in the seat and they want to, rule the world as they say, you're saying that they cannot just come out and rule the world. They have to go through the process.
Yeah, they actually have to participate and actually get the experience.
Participate from the
from anywhere. You could choose to start from the chairmanship. You could choose to start from the House of Rep, but you can't just jump to the president. I don't think it's. I don't see that working anywhere.
But don't you think that sometimes, even at local levels, that the young people are sometimes hindered?
I don't think they are hindered. They are just not participating.
Let's talk about this participation. What does full participation
First of all, if you need to participate in politics, it's not just getting your voter's card to go and vote. If you're going to vote, okay, you're electorate, you actually have that power to vote and be voted for. But if you want to participate in politics, first of all, something gives birth to a candidate.
Okay.
You become an aspirant. You first of all tell yourself, I actually want to come up for this position. You go through a party, rigorous screening. After that is done, you're in for a primaries. So your politics starts from the first day when you decide, okay, I want to do this. And maybe some delegates or what, depending on the party structure, comes out, vote, and choose you among the rest. That's the first place the first politics has been played. When that is done, you now become a candidate representing a particular political party. And when that is done, you now go head to head, head on head with other political parties. That's when you're allowed to, start going out to cajole the general vote from the public. So it's actually going to pass a lot of stage. You need to actually convince a lot of persons to actually become a candidate. Because you need to tell a lot of people that are in that party why you want them to take you as their candidate. Are you sellable enough for them to be that product that they will keep out there? Because immediately the party say, okay, I'm taking you out there, you become their candidate, you become their responsibility. But before now, you're taking yourself, I'm responsible for myself. But when you're out there, you're no more representing yourself, you're representing the party. So it's actually a long.
Don't you think that long process sometimes discourages the youth, especially when you say they go through party rigorous screening and then the primaries? Don't you think sometimes for some people, for young people, and then the finances that is involved in that whole rigorous screening and the long process, is it not discouraging for young people?
Honestly, the truth is, I don't know what your definition of finance, because everything you do in life, you need finance. For me to get here, I actually need to fuel my car and get here. For me to be alive every day, I need to eat. So there's actually finance burnt in everything you do. But I don't think it requires a lot from you. First of all, be the best product to be sold. Many politicians should learn from Obi. Obi was actually not spending. A lot of people were spending. During his campaigns, a lot of people were volunteering their funds to make sure He was there during during his election. A lot of people cooked food, gave it to the public, just to make sure they all come there, stay, cast their vote, and even be there, the votes are counted. So that's an extra effort. When you're a product that is sellable, sometimes it just tells the world. When you go to tell people, convince people that, okay, I want to be this, they will actually ask you one or two questions. Why do you want to be there? Are you just saying you want to be there because you're a young person, or you feel everybody should be there, or there's something you're aiming to get? So if I tell you this story and okay, wow, this guy is better off than other persons, what would you do? No matter, I don't think, even though if you give money to somebody right now, if you give someone and the person knows you're not the right product, the person one way or the other, with the kind of Nigeria I'm seeing today, one way or the other will just tweaks toward, just leave it, maybe next time. Just give you a casual word that making waver towards the right direction.
Interesting. Let's go to the next question, although I have more questions back to back on that, but let's go to the next question. Youth are clamoring. We all know that they are clamoring for the seat, but should they invest more in contesting or participating in, voters registration and, being there to participate in politics? As far, I don't know if you get the question. Rather than contesting, should they pay more attention in voting?
Both of them goes hand in hand. Do you know why? If they participate more, what that means is that people, the friends of the youth, are going to be your pair within that cycle. So you'll be forced to make your friends within that pair go and register.
Okay.
So one way or the other, they are now participating in politics. Now, for the fact that I'm contesting, I know a lot of my friends that take me as their project, that take me like their friend is there. They need to tell the world that this guy is outstanding more than every other candidate. What does that mean? You're making a lot of people involved in politics. So tomorrow, if I can scale through that battle, a lot of people say, if this guy can actually do it without nothing, that means I can actually do it. That's what it is. That's the message you sent there. So by virtue of that, everybody, a lot, are participating. And truth is, when they say a young person is out, even sometimes I go to tell, just say, I'm going to vote you because you're young. I've gotten that like a response for more than 20 to 30%. I'm just going to vote you because you're young. So sometimes someone then we even want the young person to be out there. I actually tell them, because there's this spirit, there's a vibe we come with this energy that the other people cannot give. We need to jog when we need to jog. We are walking on the street telling people we're not going there to say, okay, we want to go and do this. We are going out to tell you we want your vote because of X and X and Y. So that's different.
So now you made a mention of something that you can go there without nothing and still make the vote count.
Yeah.
For young voters out there and young candidates, young politicians, aspiring politicians out there that are scared to, go into politics because they don't have that track record. They have nobody, I mean, godfather and all that. Because in Nigeria, I think it's the godfatherism that trends for you to actually make it in politics. So now that having no track record, is it possible for them?
I like the word you use, godfather. Let's stop using that word.
Why?
on a wrong narrative. It's called godfather. Do you have God?
I have a God.
Thank you. If you have God, that means you have godfather. The
Okay.
first person that's supposed to be your godfather is supposed to be your God. So if your God, for me, if you ask me who's my godfather in politics, I'll tell my God. Because first of all, it's him that's giving me the strength to go through this process. And the next person should be you yourself, telling yourself you want to come up for the task, because the task is actually not, no matter how they try to cajole, it's not as easy as you think. You're going to get a lot of get out, you're going to get a lot of wow, you're going to get a lot of stories going there. It's not as easy as you think. That's two. And another thing is your immediate family accepting the fact that they want you to belong in the cycle, and your friends and family. I feel that cycle, if this will give you that support, and the people you are going to represent play a vital role. If the people believe in you and say go there, who is going to change it? Tell me. I don't think anybody will change it.
Okay, just before we go further, I really want to go through this step. Let's say I am nobody, I'm just me. I'm like, okay, I think I have a value to put out there, and I'm so passionate about the people in my ward, in my local government area or whatever, and I want to, participate. I want to now contest for election. What are the steps?
Basically, first of all, what you're supposed to do, first of all, since you're just coming in, because if you tell me you're in a political party, it's easier. Because first of all, before you become a candidate, you must come through a political party. So your first aim, even as it is now, if you're not a civil servant, the first thing I advise everybody, just Look at the whole political parties. They have their political ideology and their structure. Who do you believe with? Who does your belief taking? Which all of them have a vision and mission. Which of them that their vision or mission tracks you a bit? Align with them, because that's the first process. Because you cannot just walk into a political party and tell them you want to be a candidate. No, it's
funny.
That's funny. Because a lot of people have been there investing a lot, and you're just walking in. Who are you? It's really going to be hard. Unless you have one very, 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 very X. It's not just 2 X factors. It has to be up to 10 X factors. For you to just get in, because you that means when you're coming, everybody should just keep their eyes closed and you just walk through. That's what it means. So first of all, you get there. When you get to the political party, you're known in the political party, because
So
give or take.
that's taking long time.
Yeah. No, it doesn't take long time. You can actually go to a political party today, and over 3-4 months, you meet this this girl. This person is something special about this person. Because you can get there, just the input you give within 2-3 days. I said, this person has something to give.
Okay.
You first of all declare that intention and the political party. I want this position. After you're now a party member, because you need the card as a party member, card carrying member to contest. When you now declare that intention, I want to become a particular position. I want to vie for a particular position. Okay, some parties have a structure, like for the PDP, you're going to undergo maybe party minor screening, the ward screening. After that is done, certificate screening and the rest, then you go in for a primary election. At that primary election, so the INEC is even invited to the primaries, where you will not get, maybe the party might actually say, okay, a particular number of delegates will come and vote the contestants, the aspirants then. Maybe about 5 of you. The person with the highest vote, simple majority, you're gone and you're done. That stage now moves you to the party's candidate.
Okay.
At the party's candidate, you're carrying the party's flag at that point. So it's now the party's responsibility to now flag you up.
I understand.
So on that process, you now go to contest with other party members. That's why when you go to the polling, if you go to the election day, you won't see my name, Osinachi Ihuoma, for PDP. You will rather see PDP for councillor. So when you're going there, you're not going to vote Osinachi, you're going to vote PDP for councillor.
So what it entails is that even if you're the person they are voting, they're not voting you, they are voting the party
yeah.
and what the party stands for.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go to instances that youth has, been in the forefront. Are there instances the youth have been in the forefront, running things and ruling, as they say? If you've seen like instances, if you've seen, and if you've not seen, what hinders them?
Like I said, before we woke up from our sleep, youths were not in forefront in politics. But now, these days, most of them are involved one way or the other, because formally, it's hard for you to say even a youth projecting a particular person, unless if it's your friend, uncle, auntie, relative. That's small cycle. But now some people just take some tax to project a particular person because of the belief. A lot of people are there to say, okay, they want Atiku. A lot of people are saying they want Obi. A lot of people are saying they want Tinubu. A lot of young persons are even investing their resources to do billboards, to do posters. These are young entrepreneurs, people of over, say, 30 to their late 40s and the rest. For me, that's the active years of the youth. So if they are investing their time and their resources, what does that tell you? It tells you that one way or the other, they want to be involved in politics. Because politics is not just going to contest. Mind you, when the person gets there, the person needs a cabinet to operate. And your immediate cycle and those that can actually give what it takes, is still, and that also shares your own belief, will still be the same people to do that job. That's what it is.
So you don't see things hinder the young youth to participate?
I don't think there's anything that is hindering them, because if some people might say the finance, but how much is that finance?
Okay.
Like, why I don't want to use finance as an obstacle? Everything is an obstacle.
Okay.
Because not just finance, you might actually have the finance and you pump it in a particular sector, and it's not just working.
So there is more to be finance that hinders the youth from participating fully in politics.
A lot of them are even scared.
So what's that fear? They say politics is dirty game.
Exactly. A lot of people say before you become a politician, you need to do this one, you need to go and do this one, you need to go and... But am I not a politician? I go to church every Sunday. I'm a strong Catholic. I'm a legionary in the Catholic Church. So,
so now you're
so
taking us inside.
do I have a... No, you see, the fear of the unknown, that's the cure. That's the cure. Everybody from the far, the description for politics is like this, and this. But when I'm in, it's actually different. I get there. Yeah, it's tough. It's like a tough journey to meet people, convince people, but not for you need this and this. I spoke to someone, the person said, no, don't worry, you're just starting. Don't worry, you get far. I said, okay, let's get far now. I've not gotten there, so I will not know what you're talking about. So when I get there, maybe I'll tell the story of how there looks like. But I can tell you where I am right now that it's not as hard as you
Interesting.
think.
I mean, it's coming from someone who has tested the ground and is saying that politics is not what you guys think about. But either way, let's go further as we look more into politics. As Nigeria draws near to 2027 and looking at previous candidates and looking at forecasting the candidates for 2027 election, what's your take on them? What's your estimation?
As it stands, we don't have. The only candidate we know is the president that is running. We know there's a lot of nurture from a lot of political party, even from my party, even though our state is a bit chaotic, but I know we are coming up with a very good candidate, by the grace of God. I know the ADC is also preparing a lot of candidates. We could see the former party man, Atiku, that is now in ADC, he's nurturing himself. Obi, that was a former party man too, also that left PDP for Labour. From Labour, he's down to ADC. He's also nurturing himself. So there's a lot of persons. Even Amechi, some people say Amechi is still coming. So there's a lot of names, There's also... there's a lot of names, that's the truth. There's a lot of... There's Gwenga coming from the PDP. There's a lot of names wheeling down. The truth is, it's one word to say I want to contest, and you want one word to be serious about what you want to do.
I like the word serious there.
When we get closer, I guess a lot of people would naturally step down for the best candidates to try it up. But 2027 election is going to be interesting, very, very interesting. Because we can actually see it's actually going to be it's going to be Nigeria against one party system, where I feel it's actually going to be very, very hard, but it's possible, very, very possible, because the truth is that we Nigerians, we decide who wins the election, not the governors, because almost all the governors are in one camp. And it's interesting. It's very, very, trust me, it's very, very interesting. I used to use football as an example. At some point, Barcelona was the favorite to win whatever team. Man U was doing badly. Arsenal was the favorite to win, but they had a football match and we're not even thinking of a draw. Man U won from behind. So, yes, as it stands, some people might say, okay, the ruling party is actually the favorite. But is there an upset possible? I'll say yes.
Interesting.
Yeah, there's this. Because Nigerians, we've grown past the stage where we vote. We vote a party, we vote the candidate.
How?
Yeah, we vote. If you're going to vote someone at this stage, would you think of the party or you're thinking of the person? Because yes, on the election day, it is the party that is going to be there. But who are you voting? You're voting the person, his ideology and what he has done, his track record. I can tell for yourself. So I feel if we get two good rivals, it could be a very good. It's going to be a very interesting battle. But at some point, there's going to be a result. That is what we called by the INEC.
Let me just jump in right here. You earlier said that when you go out to contest, I like the fact that you said Nigeria, we've come past that state where we vote the person and not the party. Yeah. But when you're coming out, you made instance that if you're coming out, it is the party they are voting, not you.
When I said that, yeah, because on that day, when they are voting, when you go to cast your vote, my name is not going to be there. The party's name is going to be there.
Okay.
But who are you voting? You're voting me.
Okay.
You're not voting, you're not going there to vote PDP. You're going there to vote me because I am that candidate from the PDP. If a candidate that you don't believe in his own ideology is in the PDP, you won't vote PDP. Do you get? So that's what I mean.
Okay, so just so that I get it clear there, it's not about people have gone past that, oh, I belong to this party, I belong to this particular group of people, or, you know, the divide and rule segment that's going on for a while. Now it's more on competence, it's more
Yeah.
on merit, it's more on what you have to bring on the table.
That's what it
other
is.
than what party you belong in. So now looking at the fact that if we're running a one-party system and everybody is in this particular party, don't you think the people are going to slide towards that party?
Yes, that is what it looks like, but that's not. That is what it looks like most times, but sometimes there might actually be exceptions to that.
Exception how?
Yeah, reasons being that if you watch the drama that played in the last election, nobody would have believed that the numbers would be pulled.
That's right.
Um,
But I think it was actually predictable looking at how the young people actually were at his back.
Exactly. So were they voting the party? They weren't voting the party. They're voting him. And a lot of people gained a seat because of him.
Oh, from the Labour Party.
Yes. A lot of people gained that seat. They didn't gain those seats because of their credit. They gained it from the party because of him. So it was his influence that pulled out. Okay, we want him and we want some people to work with him. Cycle. That's what it is. So a lot of big names lost their seats. A lot of big names that nobody expects lost their seats.
Let's talk more on this party system now. Looking at young politicians, let's say, okay, you've aspired, you've done your primaries, you're now coming out for this and that and that. And the presidential election hits on one party. Do you think that if that party should, you know, become the winner, it affects the other candidates because of, you know, just like it's a place to...
I played a record for you. I played slight trade to you that, okay, there's a process before you become a candidate. And now let me tell you where there's a lot of strong men in one ward. Who's going to be the king?
I mean, I don't know who's going to be the king. It just have to be a divide and rule stuff.
Because when you have because as it stands now, almost 70% of the Nigerian strongholds are in one party. And in every state, you have over 5 strongholds that can actually stand individually and get the battle done. And now within one cycle. What does that mean? This process is going to eat some of them out. And some of them will align with other parties and now make the party stronger. Because when they are pulling out from this party, you pull out with their followers. And what does that do to the other party? You bring in a stronghold for people that have actually been constructing themselves up. Maybe at some point you guys are giving them 70-30. You now pull up your stronghold from this because you lost the primaries. You now add it to this one's 30%. You drop this one to maybe 40 and pull it down here. You see the range changes immediately. So that's what's going to play up in Nigeria. That's why 2027 is going to come with a lot of drama, a lot of stories. You see a lot of politicians will take back their words.
Just before we get to 2027 with the whole drama and with the whole stories, what critical do you think the young people should play now and during the elections?
If I go to meet a young person, the first thing I first tell them, do you believe in politics? Do you believe that you're a politician? Give or take. Do you believe that the decision taken by these politicians, one way or the other, you must abide with it? Because the truth is, a lot of us support football. Yeah, we support football, support a particular team, and we are passionate about it. A lot of us will come out for a friend's event. We are passionate about it. Now, the truth is, what gives us life? The air we breathe. We are not passionate about it.
Interesting. Now you're relating politics to life.
Yes.
Why?
Yes. If the country is as standard as what we want it to be, how many old persons leave this country to the other country to look for greener pasture? Have you gone to the border and you see a young man is even ready to sacrifice I've gotten to a master level. I want to go and start by nursing from SS1 because I need to make it work.
That's true. Irony.
So you understand, if you can actually sacrifice that, why would you sacrifice yourself to partake in one of those people that choose the leader? Because if you don't, the main problem is not the candidates. I told you the process. If the young people participate and get the right candidate, we have all party projecting all right candidates. We don't have a problem. Go and sleep.
All party projecting the right candidate.
We go and sleep.
Why?
That's what it is.
That any party it lands on, we
are
get
good.
it right.
We are good. If I have Mr. Do Good here, and I have the best man here, Mr. Good doesn't. The best man will do. He might not get up to the range he's doing, but it's actually going to be close. That's what it means.
Very interesting. Anyways, before we continue, let's take a short break, and when we are back, we'll delve more into youth involvement in politics. Do stay with us. Welcome back from that short break. You're still watching 360 Youth Dialogue here on Third Eye Africa Television. If you're just tuning in, we've been having a dialogue on youth involvement in politics. And I have here Stanley Ihuoma, who is a young politician. He has said a lot, making politics look like life and making politics look sweet for some people. But either ways, let's go more into youth involvement. Are youth involvement and youth activism influencing real-time, like bringing real-time influence?
Yes, actually. Yes, why did I say yes? If youth are not involved, I will not be a candidate, actually. Because 90% of the people that actually projected me beyond doubt was they want one of their children. Even the mothers at some point crying out, we want someone that stays in Wuse. We want a young person that lives in Wuse. We know we cannot do it. We want one of our young sons to occupy it. And a lot of young people say, no, one of us should be there. There's this belief that, why is it not one of us? So that is one of the things. And where am I? I'm a candidate. I would no disrespect for any political party. The oldest political party we have in Nigeria, one of the strongest political parties we have in Nigeria is the PDP. And if the PDP is flagging someone as young as I am,
so to you, that's like
an
example.
Yes, that we have a lot of them. Even on the ballot, even on this election, on the local government election coming in 19 days, we have a lot of young persons participating. Yeah, they participating doesn't mean they all will win. But what has that done? That has shaping the minds of other young people to actually come and buy.
That's right. That's right. I mean, looking at that bill of not too young to run, do you think it has changed a lot of things amongst young people who would have, vied for elections before but changed their minds?
It kind of, I guess it contributed, but not for me. The story, Nigeria just told them the story, and everybody just knew that right now I have to wake up.
So it's not more of the policy that were put on the table for the youth. It was more of the hardship that
the
brought
country
them
just
out.
told them the story. There was a time the past president said something that Nigerian youths are lazy, and we all went out there and we criticized, we bantered, and the rest. But I just took critical look at that. If the narrative I'm looking at is different, I feel what he meant is this. That we don't understand the power we hold. Because if you see a politician, a sample of a population of a country, and especially Nigeria, we occupy almost 60% of the population. So if you have 60% of the population, we have the older ones, maybe occupying about, say, 15, and the younger ones that will not vote. That will not vote. They just need to preach the gospel or sing the song of what it is. And 60% are not actively involved. If we stand up to say we don't want you in this country, if the whole youth stand up to a policy in Nigeria and say we don't want you or we don't want a particular thing, so shall it be.
Interesting, because they're more of the population.
Because yes. See, I told someone, I did a sample with a lot of friends. When you leave this country, your prayer point will change.
Definitely.
Yes, that's what it is. You stop praying that, God, please give me safe journey. Because everybody that is driving knows that I at least need to drive in a particular speed. I am not supposed to do this. I'm supposed to fasten my seatbelt. I'm supposed to do A, B, and C. And the government knows you when you're paid your salary, you don't even need someone to tell you go and pay your tax. And the government will take your tax. They'll make sure they need to provide what they are meant to provide. But we're in a country where even if there's a way when you pay your salary, you can actually waive the tax, you do that.
Definitely.
That's what I'm saying. We're in a country where we're driving on the road, the next call comes is more important than the road, and you pick up the call. You see, all these hitches, one way or the other, tells on a country's development. So, and the next thing we now all go to is that we go to church on Sunday and we pray for this. We pray that God. The truth is, I don't know. I'm not God, actually. We have a merciful God, but something that we can cure ourselves, I don't think God should come and cure it for us.
I mean,
we should leave the harder ones for Him to do.
Exactly.
And solve the immediate problem.
What we can do for ourselves.
Yes. We should solve the immediate problem.
You know, people would say, what the government can do, you don't need to pray to God for it. And you rightly said that if all parties project the right candidate, that's a better Nigeria.
That's what it is.
Okay, let's come down to you right now. You are vying for a councillorship, right? And youth are contesting. They're coming out. We're seeing them in their thousands. The last election, over 300,000 people came out for different positions. The House of Representatives down to different roles. Tell us what councillorship, what it takes to be a councillor at a local level.
Okay, first of all, that's the least part when it comes to lawmaking transition in Nigerian politics.
Okay.
And this is a chamber that makes up. In AMAC we have about 12 of them. That makes up the legislative arm of the local government. That's AMAC. That's the Municipal Area Council, Abuja Municipal Area Council. So these are just going to be the key people representing different units. They have someone representing the city center that covers the whole of Gariki. Mine is Wuse. Wuse Ward covers the whole zones, Zone 1 to Zone 7, Wuse to Maitama, some part of Aso Drive. So what you do that, you represent the good people of that region. And the House, there's a lot of bills that are supposed to pass through. You go through it. If there's something you're supposed to object, you object. Just like what the legislative arm plays with the presidency. That's what we are going to be doing with our own dear chairman. So what it means is that, okay, the funds comes from the chairman, allocation that are supposed to go to these places, issues that are supposed to be solved within these regions. At least you have a representative that says, okay, we need this. This is our right. We generate X and X to the local government. So it shouldn't be something of please for you to know that, okay, security within this region, yes, is the primary aim of the government. But you should actually go extra if these people need extra. Yeah, we might have good roads. Some other ward might actually have road as their problem. Road might not be our problem. So it's me coming to say, okay, this is what we want. We need this more than we need this. So if you're coming to tell we say people that, like, sometime around last 2 years, a lot of roads were tilled. Some good roads were tilled and were maintained back. But that money was channeled to another thing in that ward. It would have paid a lot. I'm not saying the roads are not good enough, but it was changed to another thing. It might actually pay us a lot within the region. Before now, we used to have our sanitation to be a vital part of our life. But now, trust me, the mosquitoes, you cannot even sit outside. Outside are actually main place where you sit down and have fresh air with your shot liquor. But now you dare not do that.
Dare not.
You dare not do that.
Because the malaria you'll be taking back home.
It's free of charge.
Interesting. Okay, before we come to your chance in the election, as a councillor, how will you influence development through your councillorship as a legislator in the local government level? Okay,
first of all, my story is actually a bit different because I actually was a politician, but I was not active. I did not see the need to contest.
Okay.
I just feel, okay, I need to be within that cycle where we should make leaders. But the story tells, I've been a businessman all down. I'm the CEO of Kolanut. It's actually a hospitality business.
Okay.
I have a farm that I run personally. I also work. I work with a multinational organization, that's Jubilee Agritech, an agrochemical company. So doing, I'm just trying to bring all the knowledge I've gathered. And I studied accounting, funny enough.
Interesting.
I studied accounting, and I have my master's in finance. So the experience I've gained from managing, going through this cycle is what I'm actually bringing to the cycle. Because basically, I believe in the fact where the government should not just do everything. And I believe information at some point is just the key. You just get the information and you're just right. I just take a sample. 90% of the young people within these regions are not employed. Why? Because the kind of jobs they will take are not like those that stay within the Maraba region and the rest. Because these are people that have grown up with a particular lifestyle, and they will not want to settle for maybe a cleaner that they will do when they get to the UK.
Definitely.
That's the truth.
True.
They'll do a cleaner when they get to the UK.
I mean, that's for a white man.
Yeah.
That's
for a white,
African
you
mentality.
You see the problem. But when they get there, they'll do a cashier job. They'll do security job for another person. And should I tell you the difference? You know what they'll tell you? The pay. If you
Obviously, they pay.
When you get that pay, when you get that pay, if you divide it down to what you will save, it's still the same amount you're saving here doing that same job. Because you have to pay. There, you have to pay your tax first of all. Everything you touch is bill. You have to pay all those bills. You cannot waiver any of the bill. You cannot say because you're hungry, you're not paying your tax. It's not possible. You cannot say because you're hungry, you will not pay your bills, your utility bill. That's not possible. You're not going to use the water. Nothing is for free. And you can actually not go to your neighbor and say, please come and give me water. My water has finished. It's not possible. Nobody's going to help you there. So there you must actually work to get what you want. But here you can actually raise, this is not enough. Please help me. You in Nigeria, Africa, we are all, we know Jesus Christ. We know God. Please, if I help you, they tell us in the Bible, whatsoever we do to our brother, so we have done to God. So we just say, that's what it is. So basically, there's some things you can actually initiate. I told someone that I don't need to actually come and blab. I just need to tell you, okay, you don't need to wait for this job. Why not look for someone that has a camera, follow him as a boy? And over time, what that does is that he pays you the peanut you need to survive. Same thing, the way you're surviving, what that has occupied you doing other things. And over 2-3 years, you gain experience, you cut up a deal, before you know you have your own personal camera. You're now a photographer. I did my wedding and I paid the photographer over 1 point something, and I cried. I said, what is this photographer that we knew when we were in secondary school that we used to pay 20 something, 15,000, they give us a lot of pictures. Do you understand what that has meant? And most of them even have a booking time. I booked a section to see him. That's the photographer. What's the difference between a carpenter and a furniture person? There's no difference. It's a thin line. So everything you do and you do it well, just the barber that barbs me, see, you need to call him 3-4 days
to book a session.
To book him. Otherwise, if you go there, you have like 10 persons.
So what you're saying is that the influence you're bringing to the development of your local government level is that you're bringing all your skill, all the things that you've gathered with your whole experience, and you're translating that into development.
I told someone that 90% of the people that stay there are retirees, and I'll tell them what to do with their time and their money. First of all, they have the whole time in life. First thing, they need to get 100,000 is really not a problem for them, because it's either they have a kid or they have a relative that can lend them or give them 100,000. They say they want to start a business. They should just start a poultry bed. Get poultry beds. After every couple of 1 year, one month, beds, the broiler stays for 6 months, 6 weeks. From 5 weeks, sell them off. What you gain, you're definitely going to get at least, if you trade it to 100,000, you're supposed to get at least almost 300%. That is almost 300,000. So what that means is that to occupy, you don't even need that government money that you're saying you're trying to keep your life running. You have something you're doing with your life. Because the main thing it needs is time. And this time, you have even excess. Most of them come out, read newspapers. They should just go that early morning, go and stay with their poultry bed, play even with the birds, enjoy themselves, and they are done. In the afternoon, they'll revisit this place. In the evening, they'll revisit before they go to bed. What has that done? First of all, it makes them active. They'll even be happy with their life. And what does that generate to them? Funds. The young people, 90%, they don't have a job. You know what they do? They go to the nearest garden. And you go to the nearest garden, next thing you see the person that has a cigarette. Before you go to, you're taking weed. Or next thing you're taking 4 bottles, you're taking 5 bottles, you're taking something that is killing you there. Why? Because you don't have something occupying your mind. If you have somewhere to go, it will occupy you till evening. And if you know you need to go to that place in the morning, what do? You go to bed and rest. Because the body needs to rest.
That's right.
So there's something basically that you don't actually need the government to come and tell this. No. Because we know that the government cannot provide the jobs for everybody.
Interesting.
That's not possible.
Interesting. I like the fact that you're not saying, oh, I would influence in this way and this way, because what I've been able to get is that you're not just going to influence the people in the infrastructure or in development as it is. It's more like innovation, innovative thinking, and that's the kind of aspect you're bringing to the table.
Yeah, I'm actually going to do that because why I'm saying I'm actually going to waver both. I will want us to do something for ourselves. Because this one, I don't need the government. I just need to tell you. I need to tell you, get someone to train you, to tell you how this works. So if you're doing this and you not get the kind of jobs you want, beautiful. That makes it interesting. Leave this for the other one that you actually dream for. But as it stands, nobody should be an idle man in this country.
Exactly.
Nobody. No, I don't expect even someone at 14, 15. If you can't do neat.
Interesting.
Yes.
I mean, so much innovation you have in your mind, but you made mention of some challenges, especially around the city center here in Abuja, where we are seeing sanitation problem, we're seeing infrastructure problem, we're seeing transportation. You know, this particular transportation system has created a lot of damage. We hear of one chance, and it's because of the poor transportation system here in the FCT. So what kind of legislation will you push to address this?
Basically, I know I lost a very close friend to this one chance people.
Sadly.
Sometime earlier, say the 3rd or 2nd of January this year. It's actually very painful because the young lady was full of life. Trust me, her soul rest in peace. And every day I keep asking. Formerly, they will say, okay, and when you see a car, check. If the lady is in the car, you can enter. They'll say, check. If the people you're seeing are not young people, you look at their face, their house car, don't enter. Or it's not a color taxi, don't enter. But now, with all analysis, you beat all analysis, you're still inside one chance. You check, even the main person in front will be a lady.
That's true.
Not just a young girl, a mother, pregnant. I've heard story where a person there is a pregnant woman. 2 ladies in the car. So there's no yardstick for this judgment. But the truth is this. We've gone into a country where a lot of people have actually tried to bring a lot of rules to see how they can boycott. You see the guy standing on the street. And funny enough, what's causing this could say, okay, they kind of make the hardship, because some people now use their private cars to do
the cab.
To do cab.
Taxi.
And you can actually not stop them. That's the truth. But in Channel Head, I only advise people that, okay, don't actually stop from the road. Don't stop. Don't try to get a car like a lift beyond. We need to actually trek. When we leave this country, you go to bus stops to take a car.
That's right.
That's the truth.
But the thing is,
okay, let me finish.
Okay.
If you get to the bus stop to take a car, now, if you actually want to make a rule within that, you can actually get a rule within a tax system. I was working with somebody, a colleague, he was formerly an aspirant, but he pulled out his energy and joined me. That's Ebenezer. He was formerly an aspirant under the Labour Party. We had a conversation when we put down, we asked, and he had an innovation that when I saw it, I was like, it was an A factor. And this factor, what was he trying to cure? He was trying to cure this problem, this hazard with one chance. Because I spoke to him about the one chance incident. And I was like, okay, we could do X and X and X. I said, oh, that's a good team. In fact, when he joined my team, I just felt, okay, because one thing in life, I used to tell people, nobody's perfect. Open your ears to informations. Informations can actually be the key. We could actually have a channel system where even the local cars we bought, when we bought them, we have something that could have their database run through. Then if we have that system, what that does is, we might not cure to zero, but that will actually limit this incident of one chance to a barest minimum. My wife works in the hospital. She tells me that every day they bring almost 2 to 3 patients, victims of one chance. And this is just one hospital. So tell me what will be happening to other hospitals. And our hospital is not just a hospital for the average. So if people from average above, talking of those people that are below average, so we lose a lot of Nigerians, citizens, to this mayhem. What are we doing to solve this? We actually need to think beyond the box. And that's to create a data system that we're not saying you shouldn't. If you must use your car for a commercial, just register with that system where at least someone you're carrying, you actually have his plate number and you have his data rule. So immediately you're getting into the car, every Nigerian has a phone. You just check this, but data matches with this. There was a time where some people, a boat man wants to pick you and he says, oh, you just check behind, it's not the same match. You just say, sorry, I don't.
Exactly.
That's what's goes on. So if that plays up, it will limit it to embarrassment. Yes, I've heard story where they say, okay, a boat rider had to snatch somebody, but can we compare the percentage of that
to the percentage of one chance? Interesting. Thank you so much. I mean, we can go on and on this particular topic, but at this point, we have to draw the curtain on national development, the youth involvement in politics. So far, Stanley Osinachi Ihuoma has been speaking, and beautiful. I've been able to change my mindset that politics is not a dirty game. It's actually a game of trust. It's a game that changes our narrative. If you want a good Nigeria, you have to participate in politics, participate as a voter and participate as a candidate. Either ways, participate in politics. Thank you for staying tuned here on 360 Youth Dialogue. I am Juliet Omura. Bye for now.